Hey YouTube, how are you all doing? Lego Leprechaun here again with this month's update. Um, Everything fairly much the same here on the right hand side. I didn't go near it since the last update because we've been working on a project over here, which we're going to get to there in a bit. Just a quick peek, a big expansion on Arkham Asylum. So I'm actually going to start there anyway, and then take you through the rest. Was dying to do this for a long time. Had a few sets, and I already had one with a slight back on it if you look at the previous update. And I had a few sets that I've been threatening to do for a while, as in make a big building out of it. So I just put my attention to it. It took me a good few weeks, alright, to get it down. And I wanted to expand, we'd say here, the actual length of it itself, you know. As you see, as the city goes on and come up to the other side, we'll show you Wayne Manor. If you haven't seen this before, welcome. And I hope you enjoy it. So as it turns out, I think my city is beginning to come more based around probably DC superhero, we'd say mythology, so to say, from looking at all animates. And I wasn't very much a comic book reader, but regarding, we'd say, the last decade of films and stuff like that, and earlier on, even from the 90s, on the animates, I started doing a lot of research and started going into villains and, we'd say, background origin stories and stuff like that. And the more and more I research it, the more and more I really get into it and love it. So I decided to try and create what it is that I enjoy doing with the Lego, you know. So from here, we'll start with the Arkham Asylum. Okay, so as you can see here, just with the building itself, I put a bit of my own touch on it. But basically the design, we'd say, around the bottom part here and along the side is fairly much taken from the books themselves, and then with my own touch on the top, kind of towery look. I'm standing back here from the table because I can't get it all in. It's actually fairly big, so I'll just come to the side here to have a look at the side and just show you. Now again, this is incomplete. I still have loads to do, especially with the garden area here. And you look down and just see I have a graveyard out the side to give it this real kind of, I had a bit of space here, and I thought, what can I put here? I wanted kind of more dark. I wanted more gothic-y, you know. So there's a graveyard gone in there, but I will have a stone path to come in there eventually. I'll just get a view over it. So we're looking down and looking through here and out into the garden itself. Now I built it up here, as you can see, on a load of rock because I just adored the rock, and especially with this because it's a pinnacle and it's also, again, dark and gritty. The only part I didn't do was the back, because I'm almost run out of grey Lego. But I will eventually have here, coming along the back, will be a rail, as you can see, where it's in the back of the little bat cave, the old Adam West version. That'll come around here, and we'll have it literally turn the corner here, and we're going to go over the top of the set there that we got Arkham 2 years ago when the Lego movie's out. So it's going to come along elevated, and down under here is where there will be an old rail underneath, a kind of what I would call a barren rail, really. It's just, it was used before kind of thing, and that was an old station. I'm still in thoughts of what I'm going to do here along the back, but we'll do something, maybe a story if there's an escape or something. Now, in talking about escapes, I'm going to do a big one anyway with all the bested villains. So again, looking at it from the front view here. Alright, forgive me now, just moving around the tables, it's a bit tight. So here's our front view of it, looking at it all. And the first villain I did on the escape, as you can see, is Poison Ivy. And I just love the whole idea of her with the plants, the flowers, and the vines, weeds, whatever she has that actually could poison you. So you can get a kind of a look on this. Here we have a guard stuck at the end of one, screaming for his life. And she's on the top there, like the big queen coming out on the plants, just supporting her as she's travelling out. And this is the start of it now. I have plenty more to do here. And as you can see at the bottom there, we've got the roots, and it just literally climbs from there up. Now the project itself, at the bottom here, we're going to have, where you see again the vines there and the roots, I'm going to have water in along here under the actual steps, and it'll go round in the back here, kind of dark gritty water. This is just a thought here now, but we have a few rats and we've got the penguins here, so they'll be doing something there eventually. And then the actual asylum itself, I just had to sit down and really think about what it is that I wanted. And as you know, if you're into the Batman mythology, and with Arkham, like, it was always dark, gritty, kind of a tall, big, dark, basically, building, So that's the kind of look I want to have at this end of the city. And I'll get a few more trees and fill up the front area here a bit more, and bring a lot of, story to it as much as I can, So yeah, so that's Arkham all in one. And that was the main biggie for this month's update. It was a lot of work on it. I do have an interior, half it done, but I tell you something, it's a job to actually take it off, dismantle it, and put it back together. I just placed it up there and it's solid, and there's a lot of taking things down, and it comes apart in 4 different pieces, and with the vines hanging off the side of it at the moment, I'm just enjoying the look of it. So before I take it apart and do a full interior, like jail cells and everything everything inside in it that you could possibly create regarding the story, guards, the inmates, the whole lot, I'll do something big, and eventually I'll do a video particularly on this itself from the inside out. But I'm kind of enjoying the outside look at the moment, so I'm just leaving it there for a while rather than actually cripple myself trying to take it down. The last thing I want now is, I don't know how many times in the past 4 or 5 weeks I'm after hitting certain areas with my hands and my elbows, reaching for things and knocking heads off this and that, and I said, right, I'm going to leave it sit for a while. So again, guys, I'm always open to suggestions with this. Like, there's much more fanatical people out there with the DC universe and stuff. If you have any suggestions, any thoughts, any things I could put here and there just to bring a bit of story to it, a bit more story to it, I'm always open to this, because I actually love it, So we'll take you through the rest of the city. Again, like that, my attention has been on Arkham. So we'll just run through the rest of what is here. I moved a few buildings, right? We'd say, because Arkham was smaller. So here I did have, or shall I say, even over here, at this old one out here, I had the Ghostbusters HQ. If you look at the last update, and we had the Brick Bank and the Pet Shop Apartments left of that. So I said I wanted to really expand this, so that's why I took them off and I moved them down the other side, and I'll show you them there in a minute. So I don't think in the last update either I had the diner in here. I had the Emporium, alright, the diner I put in, and to get a bit of a kick out of that, I put Doc and Marty, because I think the diner, I think it's 1950s anyway, so I was just kind of going with the whole Back to the Future thing. So I think the DeLorean is cool with Doc and Marty from Back to the Future anyway, and it gives a great a nostalgic moment for me, since I was a child of the 80s. So we just put that in there. Out the back, everything is fairly much the same. I have the old Adam West Batman set. I put 2 of them together, and they're going up the roof, like they used to in the TV show years ago, after Catwoman. Again, just at the back line here, we've got the taller buildings, because they stand out more, obviously being the taller, and middle row being lower, so you can kind of see them. Custom Police Station, Avengers, just expanded really from the tower that was given in one set. We put a few sets together, and the fire station. And again, there's an elevated rail behind all of this that runs right out the back, and that's what I want around the city in itself. So getting back down here, looking at it from here, we've got the main road, the park. A few things changed. I kind of took out a lot of the thick traffic on the main road here, right? Just to, as I was cleaning it up and moving buildings, I actually lessened it up a small bit just to create a bit of space. And I still have to change over here now the park. I think it's just a small bit. When I look at the rest of what I do, and then I come back to the centre, I think, yeah, well, I definitely have to change some things about it, I'd like to get a bigger fountain, and maybe some more, like a town square, maybe some more light grey plates and dark grey, bluish plates, and maybe do something check, and maybe a bit more of a kind of a feature I don't know, we'll see. Maybe you can make a few suggestions, guys, as well, if you actually, if you think of any. So again, Palace Cinema there. I'm just seeing what I can do with. I have the Palace sign down on one side there. I'm maybe thinking of. I'd love to get lights into them. I think they're fantastic. Eventually, get lights into the whole city, but eventually, I'd love to light them up. So yeah, so back streets again, quiet enough here. Nothing major going on. Again, didn't give it much attention. Again, I love the Justice League. So as you can see, they're all kitted out here. A lot of them. Move up the side here, the kind of main front street. The Arkham Asylum train I have, and the Bat is on it. That was from the last build I had. He's about to shoot the Riddler, but that was from the last update. You'll see it. So yeah, I put this together just because I want something dark, grey. I couldn't put literally a red train taking the convicts out. So that's the back window Arkham. Up here, the usual. This particular one here, that kind of design is taken from the Assembly Square over. All right, so that particular corner here, I love that look. So I want to do something similar, just taken from it with different colors, and it's just nice with the kind of cafe underneath here as it kind of enters the park. And then the diner as well, if you wanted to get a meal and the old style of things, I suppose, really, and have something here. There's still plenty to be done. So I like those two contrasting across the actual green with everything going on. As you can see, it's a kind of a fancy dress party thing there. We've got Scooby-Doo, and they're feeding the dogs. just these are things that come off the top of my head as I'm just doing things. So going down the street again, we've got our detective's office, our old fire station, and coming up here to the apartment blocks from the pet shop, our brick bank, and then we're coming to the mess at the city where I have a bit of a break. We've got the HQ I moved up here, and the brick bank and Emporium and the apartments, and they're grand for the corner. So I'm going to go around the back there, and we're going to go down a back street, and we'll see what we can do. Not sure, again, there's a gap here. We've got a gap here. I do know what I'm going to be doing here as far as coming up towards Wayne Manor, and I'll know what I'll be doing here as well, but I won't say it yet until I kind of get more of a start on it. Here's Wayne Manor, guys, and that's from the last, again, update. Nothing majorly has changed here. Just built some of the speed champion cars. I think they're class. And to me, again, Bruce Wayne being rich, either he has his friends over or literally he just comes out his door and thinks, right, what car am I going to take today? Because that's what the rich can do, isn't it? So the manor, if you haven't seen the last update, is literally, again, taken from the set Joker Manor. Again, took the roller coaster off it. Bought a few sets of this when I saw them on a deal, and I wanted to put a big square, literally, you know, like a mansion should be, right down to the sides here. The piano isn't left outside, that's to go on the inside for the interior. So up here again, all kind of my own kind of touch on things. You take most of the stuff, we'd say, well, at least anyway, 2/3 of it from the set itself, and then you can just alter what you want and right around to the back. So there's plenty of the interior to be done on this yet, guys. I'm just kind of getting an idea of what it is that I want in the whole city as you look down. So as it turns out, as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, we have Wayne Manor up here, kind of more, I suppose, brighter, friendlier, flowerier. I still have plenty to do regarding trees and putting a whole, we'd say, barred fence all the way around the whole external, bring it around, and that's what this side is like. Obviously then the other end of the city is Arkham, right down, and the city in between then, of course, where all the stuff is going on, and the Bat has to fight the villains. That's the whole idea of it. But it still remains a city with plenty of the normal Lego stuff in it, as you see, city stuff. You know, it's not all going to be just Batman themed. I mean, I will have different things going on. I mean, you know, the Marvel now is a big thing as well, and I love them. I'm sure we're waiting for the Avengers Endgame to come out, so I will be creating maybe a few things around that anyway. So yeah, so that's this side, and that's the city. All in one take from Wayne Manor right down through to Arkham Asylum. A lot more coming on. Stay tuned anyway on that side of things because I'll be doing more there. Coming over here then, I suppose we start here at this side. We've got the sea. Again, not touched since the last update, guys, and just kind of still in between thoughts about what it is I'm doing. Just running down here. That's our beach, our palm trees. And I just for now put those 3 big boats up here. They're cool ships, but yet they take up the whole sea. You can't see anything with them, so I'll thin that out eventually. I just needed a place to put them. So I think then again with the fun fair, it's nice to have it near the sea. I think a lot of them can be associated with the sea and the beach. So we've got the roller coaster, the Ferris wheel, and the carousel. And again, the roller coaster I done in the theme of the Joker. I know here I am now about DC again, but I loved when I got so many manors. I got a lot of purple rail, so I decided then to kit it out in purple rail and change a few things around from, we'd say, the ha-ha signs here and the ha-ha signs running up the other side. Still a bit of red rail there because they don't come in purple, but one of you guys that commented gave a great way to avoid showing the red, so I'll get on that soon. So here we have the Joker anyway, next to his name, standing by it as he actually floats around it, and we've hardly talking to him or screaming at him, one or the other. Put that from one of the sets, the Joker set, which was a while back, so I just put that at the top of the rail as you come up to see it. So there's still plenty to go on there. I want to again light this up. I still have to get a motor for the roller coaster, and there's lots more exciting things going on there eventually. But the whole theme, as you can see, it's kind of running that purple look anyway, because it's kind of rotating around him. And then we come into the Ninjago theme, and again I have a massive passion for Japan. I always loved it. So when the Ninjago city came out and the docks, they're fabulous, you know, and I really love the detail in them. And I wanted something here, we'd say like a Tokyo town, or I suppose a Chinatown, if you can see in there. So it's a bit dark now, like, but basically running up there we got markets and stalls and cherry blossom trees, and I got the water running right around all of them, as you can see in there and along here. And I love these transparent pieces to give the water as opposed to a normal blue tile. It just gives that element of a real water look, along with the black underneath, which gives the depth. So starting from here, it ends up at the busy city side here, and you know, stalls and markets and stuff. And then this is the entrance in here to the Japanese gardens, you know. So this just came from imagination, from what I would love about Japan. So we got the shrine gates on the way, and the bigger one here, and then you just constantly walk through them and down along. As we come down here, then we just have the normal things like people walking through the park. Out the back we've got the docks, and it all linked up. So sorry, now the guys, the camera is a small bit on the jumpy side, and I'm actually standing close to this, so I can't get really back. So these are the huts that did come with the Jitsu temples, which I'll show you there in a bit. And they were perfect for kind of fishing huts on the back of the docks. So there's just loads going on, as you can see. The docks are fantastic anyway, combined with the Ninjago buildings. And I just wanted to start bringing the bamboo in then, that's kind of growing around the area, because there's a lot of, what do we have, cherry blossoms, bamboo, and the shrine gates, a lot of red ones as well in Japan, and a lot of flowers. So we're coming down here. Okay. And out the back then, here we have, again, some of my own mocks, my own creations here. So like I just did, again, a bit of a waterfall with some gold and grey. I made this particular area just gold. And we have just the bamboo surrounding it and the water surrounding the temple itself. And literally inside, all of it is fairly gold, if I can get down there. So that's the inside of it. You can see it. So I didn't want to miss a detail with this as much as I could. I wanted to fill it out, and we got that. So coming around here then, we're leaning into the actual Temple of Ultimate Weapon, is it? I can't remember now at this stage. So like that, I do like to fill out these temples or modulars. I like to actually get a building. If there's a good front in the building, I love to put it back to it. So I want to do that with this. So we have the cherry blossom here. The water is flowing down, as you can see, from the front, coming around here, along, up, and then down. Okay, so we come over here to the front of the actual Ultimate Weapon Temple, and I wanted to bring a little waterfall out from underneath it, along with, we'd say, up here, the waterfall coming out from the larger temple. And as you can see then, that's the Jitsu ones, and there's 8 of them together on top of the rock to give that height, and that's the pinnacle really. So if you could picture starting from the start of where you would walk in up here by Ninjago City, and you would see this, and the whole idea is if you walk through the gardens, enjoying what you see around you from the cherry blossoms, the temples, the stuff going on, the nice flowing water, eventually to see the big temple, and that's where you'd end up then, you know. So here is the fire temple, well, a few of them. Again, I had got my hands on 2, but with spare parts and stuff like that, I ended up, you know, kind of filling it out, and also put an interior in it as well. So I think if you can actually see it down here, it's just like, it's almost like a training dojo. So you've got all the weapons and everything that's inside it. And then on the second floor, I think we've got that kitted out as well. So if you can see something in there anyway, you have red and beige matting, and up to the top then. Now the reason I have a few superheroes hanging about this is I actually had been invited to a convention with this, which was the hardest thing to do because of travelling with it all. Every bump I went over on the road, and I died because I thought when I get there it's going to be broken. But it was kind of okay. But I put in the superheroes because it's just the kids love that, along with the Ninjago element. So they try and find Batman, find Superman. So then I put that in there. So we built a bridge then across here with the shrine gates again, coming down. Knocked that a while ago, I think. And again, just picture something that you would see, that you'd walk through some lovely gardens regarding trees, temples, and anything from a century back that's still built. Some of my own creation stuff here again, just what I could come up with imaginatively and add to it. And that little temple there, the main one in the middle with the roof, obviously go in there and we just have a look at the water come out, the monkey's mouth, and Wu inside in the actual boat with one of his students. I don't know the names of these offhand straight. I know the names, but not of each one. It's something that isn't staying in my memory. And on this side of it then, we just wanted at the top a little bit of a pathway with some greenery. And again, another master. I mean, this I don't really stick to what you call the Ninjago theme. It's just what I put the ninjas in there and a few different masters around it. You know, so even if you picture what it would be like, we'd say a few centuries back in Japan, probably 14th century, some of these elements would be here, including the likes of wise masters walking about. And we're coming close to the end of it there. This is now, down here is just totally untouched, so that's not even, there's no point in even showing it. I will put eventually some water there or something eventually. So that's it in a nutshell, guys. Hopefully you like. Comment away. You gave me some lovely comments the last update. Really appreciate it. Some nice suggestions. Delighted to get some feedback and an appreciation for what we all do in the Lego community, you know. I love checking out some of your cities as well, guys. Some lovely stuff you have, and I get great inspiration from you all. So yeah, checking out till next time. Thank you very much. Lego Leprechaun.